Good. Closing your eyes, just feeling the placement of your body and adjusting your body to your breath. Right, if the head is forward or if we're more rounded and the belly compressed, sometimes it's harder to take a full breath. Right, so letting the breath lead you. That nice openness in the throat. And the softness around the circumference of the rib cage. Allowing movement of the diaphragm. Sense of free movement around the bowl of pelvis, base of pelvis. Allowing the breath to really drop. Good, and let's, after your next exhale, as you press the breath out, inhale slowly, 4, 3, 2, 1, slight pause or slow down that transition and then exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, completing that exhale. And inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. That transition from inhale to exhale, slow it down. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Completing the exhale as you transition to an inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more breaths on your own. Notice how your cadence changes as you lead yourself, as you guide yourself. There's no right or wrong, just notice. Softening, listening, receiving the breath, releasing the breath. And then letting your breath find a rhythm with that imprint of a longer diffuse breath. Palms together in front of your heart. And just acknowledgement of your relationship to the breath. And how it offers that sense of receiving. So not just breath, but nourishment, kindness. And releasing whatever is not needed. And let's inhale for 1 Om. Om. Okay. Stretching your legs forward. Okay, we are going to start standing today. So bringing yourself up, see if you can come up without your hands, right? How do you need to maneuver? How do you need to organize your legs to come up? And then come up to stand. Okay, and we're going to start at the wall. So piece of wall, doesn't have to be much, just wide enough for your shoulders. Right, maybe door width if you don't have a wall. Okay, so I'm going to start with my right hand on the wall, fingers facing up towards the ceiling. Hand pretty much in line with the shoulder, so the height of the shoulder and just directly straight out from the shoulder. I'm just going to play with shrugging that right shoulder up towards the ear and down and up and down and up and down. Okay, let's take the left arm out to the side. And I'm just going to play with taking that left arm. Let's go up first. Go up towards the ceiling and keeping that right arm straight. I'm just going to do a little side bend. Right ribs towards the right hip. Left arm pulling those left ribs up. Maybe the fingertips touch or think about touching. And then come up back to where you started. And then I'm going to take that left arm and swing it around in front of me. So as I let the rib cage turn to the wall, towards the wall, I feel how the ribs spread along the back. And then come back to center. And then I'm going to take that left arm back towards the wall behind, letting the ribs turn away from the wall. Maybe turn that left palm up towards the ceiling and come back to center. Okay, I'm going to turn my right hand. So now my fingers are facing the wall behind me. And again, left arm goes up and over. A nice side bend, right ribs dipping towards the pelvis, left ribs lifting and spreading with the breath. Maybe fingertips touch, maybe they don't, and come up. One more time, reaching around. Good, maybe those left fingertips touch the right wrist. Back is nice and round. And come back to center, right? Feeling that twist through the ribs, through the waist. And then left arm reaching slightly back. Slightly back. A little bit of a nerve stretch here through that right arm. Breathe, soften. And come back to center. Okay, so other hand position. Now I'm going to turn the fingers forward. So now from external rotation, turning the hand to face forward. Now I'm internally rotating that arm. And then maybe here, even just do a few, lift the shoulder, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Okay, left arm up and over. Feeling that nice side bend. And coming up and then rounding. Good, fingertips, left fingertips towards the right fingertips, back, rounding, and even pressing into that right hand and let the ribs turn away. Right, feel that line, right hand, arm, right shoulder, back of the rib cage to the left arm. And then come back to center, left arm slightly back. You can turn and look at that right arm. And then turn and look at the left arm or hand. Good, and back to center. So from here, again, we're going to take that left arm across in front of the chest. And this time I'm going to put the left hand on the wall. So it's facing fingertips, left fingertips facing the right fingertips. I'm going to walk the feet a little closer just so my hips are under my shoulders. And again, I'm just going to press into that right arm, right hand, and turn the ribs towards the wall. And then press into that left hand and turn away from the wall. It's not a big movement. And one more time, press into the right hand, turn towards the wall. And then turn the feet towards the wall. Good, and I'm going to let my hands press into the wall. Maybe the feet stay where they are, but let the back spread, right? So I'm pressing, let the head dip forward, the back round, back ribs spread. And then coming through more of a neutral, so letting the shoulder blades slide down as the head comes to neutral, and then looking up. And just by looking up, maybe the shoulder blades pull down towards the hips, little extension in the spine. And then neutral and round again. Sending the spine back, the ribs back, shoulder blades spread wide, head drops. And then come to neutral with the ribs, shoulder blades neutral. Lift the face. Shoulder blades drop. One more time, neutral, and then round. Spreading the hands into the wall, stretching through the length of the fingers, feeling the whole surface of the hand meet the wall. And keep that as you pull, even pull the hands down the wall to lift the face, look up, waist long, and then come to neutral. And so now I'm just going to turn my feet to the right and left hand comes to the wall. I'll switch walls so you can see me. And if your back's to me, that's fine. I'll just try to be more descriptive. So right arm goes up to the ceiling. We're just doing the same thing, other side. Right arm up and over. Side bending. Left ribs towards the left hip. Right ribs up, away from, off of that right foot. Maybe the fingertips come to touch. And then come up to neutral. Right arm swings now across the chest. Fingertips towards the wall. Again, feeling that rounding of the back of the rib cage. Maybe even letting the front of the rib cage or the whole rib cage pull just slightly away from the wall. And center, right arm slightly back. Good, and again, I'm going to turn and look at my right hand and then maybe turn back and look at my left hand. And then come to center. So my fingertips are facing the wall in front of me. So I'm going to turn the fingertips up towards the ceiling now. So the innervation for our arms comes from our neck, right? The brachial plexus, the spinal nerves that innervate our arms, that move our arms, lay in our neck, right? So there's a very clear relationship. So right arm up and over. So with that arm reaching up and over, left arm is still straight. So I'm trying to get more space between the ribs on that right side, but also getting into that under shoulder, between the ribs and the shoulder joint, underside. And coming up, again, turning towards the wall. Simple arm just moving straight across the body. Press into that left hand. Again, left side of ribs, turn away from the left hand, ribs get full across the back. And center, right arm slightly back behind. Again, turning, looking at the right hand, maybe look at the left hand. Okay, let's take the left hand, turn it so the fingertips are facing the wall behind. Right arm up again and over. Again, pressing into the wall with that left arm just to give you leverage to dip. Left ribs down, right ribs up. And up. Again, come across the front, round back. Pressing into the wall with that left arm. Feel the shoulder blade move away from the spine. And as you come back to center, the shoulder blade will come close to the spine again, just by the movement. Arms slightly back. Again, a little bit of a nerve stretch with the fingers facing back. Looking at the right hand, looking at the left hand. Okay, so I'm going to turn those left fingers back towards the front, where my eyes are looking, that front of the room. Again, right hand comes around across the chest, right fingers pointing towards the left fingers, right palm comes to the wall now. So both hands are on the wall. Feet are facing the right, or toes are facing the right. Pressing into that left hand, turning the ribs to the left. Press into that right hand, turn the ribs to the right. And as you turn to the right, notice again, left shoulder blade comes closer to the spine. As you press into that left hand, left shoulder blade comes further away from the spine. Maybe feel the right shoulder blade come close to the spine. Just kind of move back and forth through the two sides, even though we're in a twist. And then turn the feet to face the wall. And rounding the upper back. Then letting the round start in the lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulder blades wide. And maybe now initiate from the shoulder blades. Draw the shoulder blades down and in as you lift the eyes, lift the face. And then push into the hands to spread the shoulder blades, round the back. Shoulder blades slide in and down, look up. Shoulder blades spread wide, round, head down. One more, shoulder blades in and down, look up. And round. And then coming to neutral. Let's just bring the palms flat on the wall, fingers up now. And I'm just going to pull, maybe you have to walk the feet back a little bit, but just pull the hips back. And just getting a side body stretch, both sides, same time, or under shoulder. Good, and then walk the hips forward, drop the arms down. Oh. Hi, Priscilla. Okay, so now I'm gonna just come fingertips to the wall, the height of my shoulders, tops of shoulders. You may have to adjust your feet. So fingertips to the wall. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna slowly roll the finger pads to the wall, the length of the fingers, resisting a little bit so I get a stretch through the fingers. And then ball of the hand, heel of the hand. And then reverse, rolling, heel of the hand up. So I'm still on the ball of the hand, again, stretching, maybe spreading the fingers so I get a little stretch through the webbings of the fingers. And then peel the ball of the hand up, keeping the finger pads down, and then rolling up onto the fingertips. And let's do that again. Finger pads, length of fingers, ball of hand, heel of hand. And then let's add one more thing. I'm gonna bend, my elbows somewhat parallel, my forearms somewhat parallel. I'm just gonna bend my arms and lower my body, or bring my body closer to the wall, and then press away. And then roll heel of the hand up, ball of the hand up, come up on the fingertips. And I'm going to change my hand position. So I'm going to bring my hands further down, fingertips a little further down. And then again, roll finger pads down, length of fingers, ball of hand, heel of hand. And again, I'm going to bend, forearms parallel, lower, or bring the body closer to the wall. And straighten. And one more time, I'm not trying to do anything in particular with the shoulder blades yet, but just notice, press the hands into the wall, the shoulder blades spread a little bit. And then as you bend the arms, what happens? And then straighten the arm. Again, heel of the hand up, ball of the hand up onto fingertips. Lower the hands down a little more, just an inch maybe. And then rolling, finger pads, fingers, ball of hand, heel of hand, bend the arms. Forearms parallel, somewhat, straighten, roll up onto the fingertips, down a little further, rolling, finger pads, length of fingers, ball of hand, heel of the hand, lower, or bring yourself closer to the wall. Straighten, one more time here, bend, and straighten, one more time, just for fun, bend, and straighten. And then roll up onto the finger pads. And then I'm going to go back up, make a big jump, maybe 4 or 5 inches. Roll the hand down, bend the arms. Little push up, but now the arms are different, right? Instead of coming more into a push up shape, my elbows are high, or my arms are high, hands are high. And then jump the fingers up even more. Roll the palms down, bend the arms. Forearms come closer to the wall, just a different engagement in the shoulder, and then push with the hands. Roll the heel, the hand up, blow the hand up, come up onto the fingertips. Good, go a little higher. So now I'm much higher than shoulder distance, couple inches, and then roll finger pads down, ball of hand down, heel of hand down, elbows bend. Elbows even come towards the wall, almost to the wall. Push into those hands. Straighten the arms. Peel the heel of the hand up, ball the hand up, finger pads up. Last time, up just another inch. And lay the hand down, bend the arms, forearms down, forearms on the wall, pressing the forearms into the wall, hands into the wall. Keep that, and I'm just gonna, again, draw the hips back and forward. More neutral, and then back, and I'm gonna round to come back. So send the breastbone back, spread the shoulder blades wide, send those lower ribs back to spread the back body. And then keep that little bit of round as you come forward. And then maybe a little bit of extension, lift the chest, look up to the ceiling, and then start to round, drop the breastbone, draw it back towards the spine, lower ribs back, pull the hips back. One more time, keep that rounding as you come forward, and then lift, look up. Last time, rounding, pull the hips back. I probably already said that. And then come forward and look up. And then come neutral. Peel the elbows and forearms off the wall. Peel the hands off the wall. And bring the arms down. And just notice your arms. Feel your arms. Palms under shoulders. So knees just a little closer. Right, so instead of right under hips, just a little closer to the hands. A little bit of flexion at the hip. Okay, so just simple little circle around my hands. Again, feeling those same, right, the perimeter of the hand, the length of the fingers, the webbings, the finger pads, fingertips. Change direction, right, fully engage the hand with the floor. And as you do, feel how that supports or allows the shoulder blade to engage more with the ribs. Let's turn the fingers out towards the side of the room. And just shift side to side. A couple times. Again, just notice. So I'm going to go slow it down just a little bit. So as I come to center, I'm going to let the shoulder blades spread a little. And then as I lean left, just feel what happens. One comes closer to the spine, one comes further away. Doesn't actually matter. Just keep a little bit of engagement. And center, again, pushing into the hands to help keep that lift of the ribs and spread of the shoulder blades. Shift right, center, shift left. Now let the ribs drop. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, just a little bit. Shift right. Shift left, still engaging with the hands. Good, and center. And then turning the fingers back towards the knees. Just shift back and forth again. You can do it with the elbows slightly bent. You can try it with the arms straight. Might feel the difference in the shoulder blades as you bend the arms and straighten the arms. Okay, and then hands facing front again. So I'm going to do the same shorter sequence with the knees off the floor, not the whole time. But if this is too challenging for you, keep your knees on the floor. So fingers facing forward, knees closer to the hands, just lifting the knees off the floor, just in a little low animal shape, little circle, again, around the hands, engaging the full hand. Good, and come down, take a moment, turn the hands, fingertips face the side wall. Knees come up, shifting again, right, left, right, left. Maybe a little circle around the hands, change direction, and come down. Okay, we're not going to bring the knees off the floor in this one, but we're going to do it again. Just a little forward and back shift. Maybe a tiny circle. And change direction. Yay. Okay. And then let's take Let's give the hands a break just for a moment. So I'm going to bring toes together, knees apart. Slide the hands forward. Child's pose. Good. Crawling the hands forward as you breathe, just feeling that space created in the side ribs, in the back ribs, in the around the shoulder joint. Letting the neck get soft. Good. Slide the hands back under the shoulders and round yourself up to sit. Okay. So let's come on to right hip. Right hip, right forearm. So the elbow and the hip and the forearm and the hand are all in one line on the right side of the mat. Okay, left arm up to the ceiling. So similar to what we did on the wall, less arm movement to start. I'm just going to play with taking that left arm slightly forward and letting the back round. Right, so the ribs pull back, shoulder blades spread apart just a little. And then the opposite. Ribs move forward, shoulder blades move towards the spine. Little extension through the spine. And rounding. And extending. Right, so the left arm is mobile, the right arm is fixed, and just feel the difference. So can you keep a little engagement of the right forearm, hand, elbow into the floor? So as you round and extend, you feel the difference, you feel the engagement. One more, extend and round. Now I'm going to bring my left forearm on the floor parallel to the right forearm, really letting the ribs round, right? Just the shape. And maybe play here. So the shoulder blades are already pretty wide on my back. And I'm just going to play with letting the breastbone slide forward and the shoulder blades slide down towards the hips. Maybe they come in towards the spine, maybe not. And then slide the breastbone back and up, letting the back round, maybe the head drops. And then slide the breastbone forward, shoulder blades down. Again, I'm not really trying to do much. I'm just using the rounding and the extension to initiate, engaging the forearms into the floor. Good. And neutral. And then right forearm stays down again, left arm up to the ceiling. This time I'm going to take that left arm under the body. So I'm lifting and rounding. Left arm reaches between the right arm and right ribs, reaching to the right side of the room. And then up to the ceiling. One more time, reaching through, rounding, pressing into that right forearm. And then left arm up to the ceiling. And again, both forearms parallel to each other on the floor. So I'm going to press into the forearms, press into my feet, lift my hips and my knees up, and turn to the other side. So my knees are now turned to the right. And I'm just going to change direction. So if you're behind me and you want to turn around, you can, or you can stay where you are. So left hip, left elbow, and left forearm on the floor, right arm up to the ceiling. Again, a little movement. Right arm comes forward. More of the movement is happening in the ribs, right? The shoulder blades are spreading, rounding, like I'm holding a big beach ball, and then extending. I'm laying on the beach ball, rounding, hugging the beach ball, back body spreads, and then extension. Left forearm is engaged with the floor. Last time, round and extend. And then right forearm comes to the floor alongside the left, feeling that rounded shape. shoulder blades wide, and then just sliding the breastbone forward, moving towards extension. Notice what happens in the shoulder blades. Maybe it's different on this side, and maybe it's different side to side. Rounding, keep engaged in that left forearm, palm, and extension. Both elbows, both forearms, rounding, and extension. Good, last time rounding. And so keeping the imprint of rounding as you come to neutral. Press into your forearms. Good, feel again as you're actively engaged with your forearms down, hands down, finger pads down, elbows down. How does that engage the shoulder differently? And right arm up to the ceiling. Right, that there's a relationship, hand to elbow, to shoulder, to ribs, to spine. And that we need the arms, we need the limbs to engage the center, just the center of the body. Right arm up, turn, again, that rounding, right arm threads through between left arm and left side of body, turning to the left. And right arm up, and right arm through, left arm, left ribs to the left. And up. And again, forearm down to the floor. Engage both forearms, finger pads, press into both elbows, press into both feet, lift the knees. Good, and turn again, knees to the left. I'm just gonna flip around. So I'm on right hip. Okay, right forearm stays down, left forearm or left arm up. Okay, so a little bit of side bending. We've done this one before. So pulling, right, I'm pulling the right elbow and forearm towards the body, side bending to the left, right, left ribs closer to the pelvis, and then push into the forearm, rounding, side bending to the right. And pull with the right arm, side bend left, press with the forearm, side bend right. One more, just because it feels good. Pull and press. Good. Okay, so, well, maybe extend that left leg, just so we kind of have a sense of. And so I'm just going to play with pressing into that right thigh for a moment, into that left foot, and I'm turning the sole of the left foot to the floor. And I'm going to pull that right hand and left foot towards each other, press into the right thigh and shin, maybe just more shin, and lift the hips up just a little. More knee and shin, lower thigh. Good, head back, back. A little more on the round shape than the extension shape. And then lower the hips down, bend that left knee, forearm to the floor. Good, press into both forearms, press into both feet, lift the knees and the hips again, turn to the right. Hopefully it gets easier each time. Swing around if you need to. Okay, both forearms on the floor. Right arm comes up. Okay, we're initiating from that left arm. So pulling the left forearm towards the left hip to side bend to the right. And then press the forearm away from the hip to side bend left. And pull. And push. Right, engaging the arm into the floor, the shoulder blade onto the ribs, push and side bend. Last time, pull and side bend, push and side bend. And then come back to center. Okay, let's straighten that right leg. So right foot, again, I'm trying to roll the sole of the foot down. And if that feels like a lot, just sit on the inner edge of the foot. Okay, right arm up. So left shin, knee, foot presses into the floor, lift the hips up. Again, a little bit more of the rounded shape to support your weight. One more breath. Left wrist down, palm down, hips down, bend the knees, right forearm down. Okay, so we're just gonna go side to side. So I'm gonna shift my knees left, right, maybe left, right again. Depends on how it feels in your body. Okay, here we go. So forearms down. Press the forearms down, palms down, wrists down, fingertips down, feet down. Lift the knees up, twisting. Knees to the left. Pause, push into the forearms and feet, lift, turn, plant the hips down. One more time, press into the feet, up, twist left, hips up, twist right. Good, and last time, center, knees wide, keep the elbows on the floor, pull the hips back. So palms are down, forearms are down. Good, let the forearms be on the sticky mat and almost held, suspended as you draw the hips back. And slide the hands back and round up to sit. Okay. I know it's a lot of shoulder. So come on. Come on to your hands and knees again. Good thing this is only an hour. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, more of a tabletop, and just squeezing shoulder blades towards the spine. Press into your hands and move the shoulder blades as you engage the hands into the floor. Spread the shoulder blades wide. Keep the hands engaged with the floor. Draw the shoulder blades to the spine. Spread shoulder blades. Keep the hands engaged. Draw shoulder blades toward the spine. Keep the arms straight, hands engaged. Again, a couple more of these. Just feeling the movement, right side, left side. It will be different. The arms are different, the hands are different. Mobility is different, strength is different. Then last round. Okay, and then let's just take knees a little closer. Again, a little bit more of a flexion. So I'm gonna take, let's do right hand slightly forward. So I'm gonna take the hand in front, just reach it forward as far as it will go and come up onto the finger pads. And take that left knee and just draw it in towards my ribs, letting my back round. And then I'm gonna extend that left leg. So I'm aware of my pubic bone, breastbone, and eyes, right? And they're just trying to maintain where they are as that left leg extends back and up. Right arm forward and up. And then come back down, right fingers down, left knee in towards the ribs, and come back to where we started. So left hand slightly forward, right knee slightly lifted. Again, just to help me feel, I still have my limbs mostly on the floor, right foot, left hand, they're on the floor, but I'm preparing. I'm still balanced, right, left, front, back. And as that right leg extends, I'm trying to keep that balance as the right leg moves back and up, left arm forward and up. Again, engaging right hand and left knee and foot so the ribs have support. And then left fingers down, right knee into the ribs, and then everything back to center. Right hand forward, left knee in, left thigh in. Again, letting your body know we're moving, but this is your organization from all four limbs. This is your support. So as you move, can you maintain that support from tail to crown and reverse? Hands and knees in place. Left fingers forward, right knee forward and up. Again, feel the support from the limbs. The limbs support the spinal column. And then extend. Right leg back, left arm forward. Still getting that support. Good, and reverse. Left fingers down, right knee in, just to remind that front body to support. Good, one more time, each side. Right fingers forward, left thigh in and up. Again, just reminding the ribs not to fall to the ground, but to support the back body. Right side, left side, support the center. Left leg back and up, right arm forward and up. And reverse. Right hand back, left knee back. Left fingers forward, right knee in. Then moving slowly, listen for your breath. Listen for the engagement or follow the engagement of the limbs. The limbs are still engaging, even the ones off the floor. They're supporting that center line. Left fingers down, right knee in, both hands and knees in place. And again, child's pose, toes together, knees apart, arms forward. Good, lift your palms up for a moment. So your finger pads are still on the floor, just to feel that lift of the underarm, right? The upper arm form supporting the arm. Good, and then as you bring the palms back to the floor, feeling that same sense of lift from the underside, the shadow side, or the lighter skin side of the arm. Good, hands back and round up to sit. Okay, so let's do one downward dog shape. So hands, the front of the mat, toes under. Let's pick the knees up, pull with the knees bent, pull the hips back as the hands press down and forward. And you may choose to keep the knees bent, remembering that sense of buoyancy from the front body. Right? It's not that we're wanting to move into a full round shape, but we want to keep the ribs elevated, lifted, buoyant. And then maybe straighten the legs. Maybe lift the heels up and see if you can, again, slide the ribs up, away from the floor and up to the ceiling and back. Wiggle the hips back. And then maybe lower the heels down. Long side body, long front body, long under shoulder. Good, knees down to the floor. And sit back. Okay, all right. Let's do one play thing, and then I think we're done. So, no, you can use blocks. I'll show you with blocks. We're going to do the first part. So there's two parts. There's one where the hands don't move, and then there's one where the hands move. So the first part, you can use blocks. So hands on blocks. And you can even have the blocks higher if you want to use grip strength, just a change in how you use your hands rather than pushing, right, squeezing. Okay, so knees close to the block, toes under. Again, even though I'm on a block, I'm still engaging finger pads, webbings of fingers. Knees come off the floor. Simple move to start. I'm just going to pivot on the balls of the feet, turning the knees to the right. So my left hip comes closer to my left arm. And then I'm going to pull that left hip back up, come back to my little hovering tabletop, and then turn the knees to the left. So my right hip comes closer to my right hand. And then I'm going to push into my right hand and pull my hips up and back to center. And come down And we'll try it again. Right side, left side, right side, left side, center. Okay, hands on blocks or on the floor. Just a little more challenging on the floor because you have to use more of your whole body, right? Hands on the blocks, I'm shifting more focus into my legs. Okay, knees come off the floor just an inch. Push into the blocks, push into the feet, turn the knees to the right. Right, the hips lower, but then pull the hips back up to come center. Lift, knees turn to the left. Push into the right hand, pull the right hip back and up, center, and then right, center, left, center, and down. Yay. Okay, so, all right, there's 2 points to that. So let's try that one again. Again, if you're still working on feeling confident in what you're doing, then stay with that. Right, build the confidence, then add elements. Okay, so same thing. So this time I'm just gonna, you can do it with me. I think you'll be okay. So pressing into hands, into feet, lift the knees off the floor again, hover for a moment. Again, I'm gonna turn the knees to the right. Left hip comes closer to the left hand. And I'm just gonna maybe kick that left foot forward just for a moment. Bring it back, lift the left hip center. Turn to the left. Maybe get more weight in the right hand, kick that right foot forward. Bend, center, and come down. Yay. And one thing that it shows us is how related the shoulders are to the hips, right? That sometimes, and I feel this in my own body, sometimes I overwork the shoulders by not using the lower body. That I don't anchor into my legs and hips to get more support, to get more force. Okay, so I'm gonna start. I'll go this way. Actually, maybe I'll go this way. So same thing, but this time I'm gonna start on the floor. Pressing into the hands, knees are closed, lift the knees off the floor, and I'm gonna turn my knees to the right, but this time I'm gonna let my right hand come up, my right foot step over, my right hand come back behind me. So I'm in a little crab. And I'm gonna keep going. So right hand down, right foot down, left arm comes up, left foot steps to the left. Left hand comes down and come down. And then we'll go back the other way. Just as simple. We probably did this when we were kids, like 50,000 times. So hands close to the knees. Go slowly if you need to. Lift the knees up. So I'm going to turn my knees to the left. Right hand and right foot get weighted. Left arm up. Left foot steps across the right foot in line with the right hip. Both hands down, fingers facing back. Turning knees to the left. Right arm up. Right foot steps over. Right foot in line with the hip. Right hand down, line with the shoulder. Yay. Okay, let's try one more. If you want to go faster, you can. If you're not ready for that, go slow. Hands down, feet down, knees turn right. Left hand, left foot stay there. Right foot travels across the left foot, lands in line with the right hip. Right hand in line with the right shoulder. Shift weight, right hand, right foot. Left foot crosses, left foot and land, left hand land. Then knees shift left. Left foot and left hand travel, coming back the way you came. Knees shift left. Left hand, left foot heavy. Right hand, right foot travel. Come back where you started. Yay! Downward dog. Let your breath help you, guide you, soften you. Notice where you need more support. or where you're overworking. Softening the hands, spreading the feet, widening the belly, widening the back. Good, knees down. Okay, so let's grab blanket and two blocks. So I am going to set up my blocks on the lowest height and wide. Right, so lowest height and the longest width. Okay, the first block is going to be for my head. Second block is going to be for my shoulder blade area of the rib cage. Right, so pretty much above bra strap area. Right, so I'm holding the shoulder blades on the first block. Blanket. Actually, let's put the blanket aside for now. We'll use it after. So upper back goes on the first block. Head goes on the second block. And depending on your thoracic, right, the roundness of your thoracic spine. So what does that mean? If you're quite rounded, sometimes the head is still slightly forward. So you can stick your blanket under your head just to elevate the head a little bit, or you can adjust the block either a little bit lower, because we want this curve of the neck and the curve of the lower back to feel like a steady curve. There's no pinch in the back of the neck or in the lower back, but it feels like a consistent arc. Arms straight out to the side if you can. And making any adjustments if you need to lift the hips up and just anchor them just slightly further away from the block. Again, this nice gentle arc from pelvis to head. You have one anchor point. So maybe adjust the anchor point so it feels good. The body's able to release, relax, allow. And if the arms are still floating above the floor, straight out to the side, you can lower them. Or blankets, shoes, anything, pillows, anything to go under, just to support your body. Because once it feels supported, it will release more. Right, we're gently coaxing more movement out of the body. And not necessarily coaxing. We want to set it up so the body feels comfortable enough to find more movement. Okay, let's take feet together and knees apart. Again, if this doesn't feel quite so easy, you can bring knees back together and walk the feet further away from the pelvis and try that angle. And let's bring the knees together and walk the feet apart and drop the knees together. And I'm just going to take my arms a little further down. So I'm feeling a little tingling in my left arm. You can even turn the arm so the palm is facing down, with the elbow still a little bit higher, just so you feel some kind of unwinding at the upper arm, shoulder joint area. But the shoulder blade is still able to settle back. The back is able to settle. The neck is able to settle. And then again, let's bring feet together, knees apart. You can always bring feet further out. There's no right, they're just different tissues. Maybe keep the palms down and bring the hands towards the hips so the elbows are wide. Might be a little challenging to keep the shoulder blades down, so listen to your body, to your shape. And letting the breath cycle in and out, finding that same, slightly longer, more diffuse breath that we found in the beginning. Last time, pick the knees up, feet wide, knees together, and whatever arm position you want. Arms can be closer to the body, they can be further out, they can be further up, almost like a Y shape. Which also feels really good. Again, letting the breath soften your experience. And then release the arms. Bring the feet a little closer to the hips. And I'm just going to roll to my side to come off the blocks. And then slide the blocks out and lay it flat on your back. You can roll up your blanket and put it under your thighs just for a few breaths, or you can put it over your thighs. Right? Sometimes having weight, sometimes having 2 or 3 or 4 heavy blankets on your pelvis and belly feels really nice. It's very calming to the nervous system, very calming to the whole body. So if you have access to more blankets, use them. And supporting your body any way that it needs. And then just feeling of the surface of the floor under you, feeling your body respond to that surface. Right? Not only the support, but that magnetic draw. Can you, with that breath, allow the body to settle, melt, sink, spread even more? Feeling the limbs, maybe even touching with your awareness the places that still need to soften or would like to soften. The toes, the feet, the inner legs, the buttocks, the whole length of the leg. Fingers, hands, palms, shoulders, neck, upper back, tops of shoulders, front shoulders. Back of neck, the scalp, the temple, skin, the brow, the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw, the tongue. Again, letting your attention, just that reminder, there's less to do. The art of no effort. And that really is an art. There's a spaciousness and a beauty that comes. Settling, softening, sinking. Maybe even finding a smile, an inner smile in your tissues, in your body, in your being, in your heart, in your mind. That busy mind, that smiling, busy mind. And then just aware movement in your fingers and toes, legs, breath. Gently roll to your side and draw yourself up to sit. And finding your leg position, palms together in front of your heart. And just feeling the difference in your body, in your being. Let's finish with one Om. Om.